Hey everybody, it's Jim from Cigars and Other Dude Stuff. I am reviewing the Arturo Fuente Gran Reserva Hemingway. And this comes in a lot of different sizes. Today I'm smoking the classic size, which is 49 gauge by 7 inches. Comes in about 9 different vitolas, and some of them are pretty reasonably priced. This isn't bad. I think it was like 12 bucks or something like that. Short story, I think you can get for about 8. But some of the vitolas are kind of expensive. There's also kind of limited availability on this cigar on and off because it, as you can see, it is a perfecto and it's a difficult cigar to roll. So they kind of have their ups and downs, Arturo Fuente does, in terms of availability. But I think we could safely say they have perfected the perfecto. The Hemingway actually goes back to 1983 when Carlos Fuente Sr. found some molds to shape the cigar in this particular size and later brought them to the Dominican Republic and started rolling these cigars. It's been on and off since then, primarily because of the Cameroon wrapper. These feature a Cameroon wrapper, and you can get these in 3 different types. It comes in sun-grown or Maduro, or this one, which is the natural Cameroon wrapper. But it's an interesting story behind Cameroon wrappers. But the Cameroon wrapper actually goes back to about the early 1900s. Somebody took Sumatra seeds and brought them to Cameroon, to Africa, to grow, and they became very popular. The politics of the situation was Cameroon was actually a colony of France for a long time. And the French government created an agency to oversee the development of Cameroon tobacco. It turned out it was quite a corrupt agency. They were squeezing manufacturers, they were price fixing, they were screwing the farmers, they were doing everything wrong. And as a result of that, in about 1993, the whole system fell apart, and the growers stopped growing Cameroon wrappers, and the manufacturers didn't want to buy them anymore, and the whole thing was going south really in a hurry. And along came the Marapfel family from Belgium, and they were a big customer of Cameroon wrappers. And Rick Marapfel decided that he was going to save the industry, and he created a organization that was a cooperative between the farmers, the tobacco growers in Cameroon, and the Marapfel family for being the distribution end of things. In fact, there's a new EP Carrillo cigar that just came on the market called the Endure that honors the Marapfel family and how they saved the Cameroon wrapper, and of course it has a Cameroon wrapper on it. But the Cameroon wrapper was in use long before now in terms of Arturo Fuente. And also it's used by Oliva for the Series G is a user of Cameroon wrapper, as is the Oliva Nub Cameroon. And CAO also has a Cameroon wrapper cigar. So I'm going to get this thing lit up and get back to you, but there's a question you always have to ask with the Hemingways: is clip or no clip? And it really makes it a lot easier to light. As you can see, there's not very much surface area to light there, so I'm going to give it a little clip and get her lit up and get back to you when I get far enough along to give you a final report. All right, I'm back. I'm far enough down in this Arturo Fuente Hemingway to give you a final report. It's been a very good cigar. Construction has been excellent. A little bit of a problem from where I cut it, and a little cutting tip is he who hesitates is probably going to end up with a cracked foot on their cigar, because that's what happened. I just hesitated at the wrong second, and a little bit of crack, but it's held up nice. Burn was great all the way down. Draw was nice. Flavor-wise, I'm going to say it is earth with some coffee and some almonds maybe in there as well. I've seen reviews all over the map, medium to medium full, and even a few that say full, but I find it to be very medium. Nice, good flavor, medium body, medium strength. So in terms of overall smoking experience, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. It really is a good cigar. It's one of those classic cigars that if you haven't tried one, it's definitely worth a try. I really do like this size. Little history, I've smoked a number of these, and I actually had a box one time of short stories that I didn't like at first. The longer it sat in my humidor, the better it was. And I think that's a mark of a good cigar. This one I've had in my humidor for, I don't know, a month or so, so I really haven't kept it that long. If you haven't had a Hemingway cigar, I would strongly recommend it. Jim from Cigars and Other Dude Stuff, I will see you next time.